Kevin, you want to pray for us this morning?
Yes, please. Please bow with me. Most gracious and kind Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for this beautiful day, Lord, and all your many blessings, Lord. We ask that you lead, guide, and direct this court and all the decisions we make and the business we conduct, Lord. I praise you for getting Brandon Little back on the road and your healing you performed there. That's certainly a miracle, Lord. And continue to ask for healing for those in the hospital and home recovering from COVID, Lord. And as always, please protect and bring home all of our first responders, servicemen and women near and abroad. I ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You'll notice Roy's not with us this morning, so he's actually in the hospital. So we should hear something. Have you heard anything?
He's not going to have to have surgery.
Okay, good. That's good news. We'll go ahead and call Marshall County Fiscal Court to order, October 12th, 2021, and we'll start with our guests. Good morning, DJ.
Glad to be here today. We've got information on your 2022 benefits renewals with the state health plan and other renewing plans for the beginning of 2022. I'll just kind of go through briefly what that information is for this year. It should be short and sweet, and be happy to answer any questions that you may have. For the Kentucky Employers Health Plan, the health renewal is an average of about 3% total increase this year in the state. That was across the board. As you know, the Marshall County Fiscal Court, along with any other participants in the state health plan, do have to at least match the state's portion or the employer portion of that cost. That is an average about 85% of the total cost is what the court pays for the health benefits. Overall, for employees, it's a very minimal cost share difference. For some, depending on the tier and the plan, it's less than $1. The highest is about $19 on a family plan, but overall a very good option and benefit for them. When we look at what the cost of this plan is versus what's out in the marketplace, we looked at our overall loss ratio as far as claims versus premiums we pay in for Marshall County Fiscal Court for the state health plan. And in the past 24 months, we paid about 89% loss ratio, which means our claims are 89% of the total we pay in. So in the normal marketplace, that would still be hard to beat that cost overall. As far as plan changes for employees, coinsurance changed about 5%. So on a PPO, once you make the deductible, it will be going from 20% to 25% of employee cost share, and high deductible health plan will be going from 15 to 20% once they meet that deductible. So a change there. And then there's a slight copay increase on the PPO from 15 to 20 for generic drugs. We'll see a cost difference there for employees. Other than that, most of the plan remained the same. All the plans remained the same, other than those kind of minor changes. That's the health plan overall. The Delta dental renewal was a flat renewal, so no plan change for the insurance or the cost. Avisus Vision, we're in a second year of a 2-year rate guarantee. We continue to offer Massa and Cincinnati Life as voluntary options for employees so they can take those benefits out if they wish. And then the only other renewing plan is the advisory contract with Peel & Holland for us to help continue to service the court and the employees as necessary. There's no changes to that contract as far as terms or cost, again, for this upcoming year, but we're happy to serve at the pleasure of the court. Any questions overall? And open enrollment will be next week, so we'll be meeting with employees to go over any changes and help them through those benefits decisions for the upcoming year.
All right.
You need approval of the,
We do.
all right, I move we approve the contract with Phil and Holland.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This is a good time to remind any department head that's listening or any employee, if you haven't signed up for your time slot yet, you do have to come, even if you're staying the same as last year. So just call us at the treasurer's office and we'll set up a time slot for you.
On to correspondence, and I'm just going to read these. We had Brian on as a guest, but he got caught up with some stuff this morning on his ambulance bids, so he's just going to come back at the next court meeting. Okay. I just want to recognize, and this is from the National Association of Counties, so I'm going to recognize some members of the county who participate on some various boards with NACO. Dear Mr. Brad Warning, as president of the National Association of Counties, it is my pleasure to appoint you to the following committees: Healthy Counties Advisory Board, Programs and Services Standing Committee, Resilient Counties Advisory Board. The duties just keep piling up, right? You were chosen because my goal is to build a talented and committee leadership team for NACO. Our strength at NACO is our membership and their involvement. Emerging from the last year of challenges, uncertainty, and in many cases, tragedy, we are ready to thrive. My presidential initiative will highlight your service and the important work of your committees in these realms: technology, health, readiness, infrastructure, vulnerable populations, and economic opportunities. I'm counting on you to advance my initiative to make life better for those we serve. Your NACO committee staff liaison will follow up with you to provide specific details on the committee's work and future meeting dates. And that is signed with respect, Larry Johnson, who is the president. So again, demonstrating the boards you sit on and the hard work that you do, and I just want to say thank you, and I know the court feels the same way with all the work that you do. A lot of it's not recognized by the community, but you do a lot of work, so thank you. Also from NACO, dear Mr. Christopher Freeman, as president of the National Association of Counties, it is my pleasure to confirm your nomination as Justice and Public Safety Steering Committee member and offer my congratulations. National Committee membership is a serious responsibility that takes commitment, but it is also a rewarding experience. NACO's strength is in our communities, and your active participation will add to that strength. The expertise and engagement of our steering committee members like you is a major reason why Congress and federal agencies often look to NACO for feedback on legislative policy decisions being made in Washington, D.C. This nomination to a NACO steering committee also presents a great opportunity to share information and learn from your county colleagues. As a member of the Justice and Public Safety Steering Committee, it is important to stay informed of legislative and regulatory action relevant to your committee. Your NACO committee liaison is Brett Maston, and the legislative assistant for this committee is Seamus Dowd. Your commitment liaison will send regular email correspondence to the committee members, and you are responsible for reviewing the information supplied and responding accordingly. And that's sincerely, with respect, Larry Johnson, President. And just so folks at home, with Brad and Chris sitting on these NACO boards and committees, there's over 3,500 counties in this country. And to have two of our county employees represented on NACO says a lot about really NACO's initiative, but our employees getting down to the local level, hearing from local communities, and pushing those initiatives and agendas to the state and to the federal agencies. So just want to recognize both of y'all. September personnel changes.
Valerie Baker, full-time dispatch, effective 9/7/21 at $13.70 per hour. Haley Sparks, part-time to full-time animal control, effective 9/1/21 Adam Norwood, part-time to full-time court security, effective 9/1/21 at $13 an hour. Brian Coleman, full-time deputy sheriff, effective 9/20/21 at $23.30 per hour. Jeff Schroeder, full-time deputy jailer, effective 9/29/21 at $18.51 an hour. Kevin Green, deputy sheriff, termed 9/24/21. Adam Weinbarger, deputy sheriff, full-time to part-time, effective 9/28/21.
Under old business, approve the minutes September 21st meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B is the opioid litigation update. Should have gotten that information.
And just to be clear, we're involved in two different settlements. One where we are the client privately with our counsel, national counsel. This is for us to participate with the settlement that the AG's office negotiated. So we need to vote to approve our participation with General Cameron's office.
Move we approve it.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And this, if you go to the webpage, there's lengthy information on there as far as, I think it's on there, Chapter 15, the legislation and participation in agreement. It's a lot of information. Item C is the WK&T grant resolution. The DLG had a RFI out, and that's still ongoing since the governor's conference. But WK&T, the resolution that they had sent us, there is a better resolution. I wouldn't say better, it's the one that DLG has put out, so they would rather us use DLG's resolution. So it's pretty much the same agreement, but the language in this resolution was drafted by DLG. So we have a resolution of the funding partner, and I'll just read this. Resolution of the funding partner, Marsh County, Kentucky, be it resolved that Marsh County, Kentucky act as the legal sponsor for projects contained in the broadband deployment grant program to be submitted on or before October 25th, 2021, and the Marsh County Judge Executive is hereby authorized to enter into agreement as a funding partner to West Kentucky Rural Telephone Cooperative, West Kentucky and Tennessee Telecommunications Cooperative, or WK&T, in its application to the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority for funding of this project on behalf of Marsh County, Kentucky. Be it further resolved that Marsh County, Kentucky has the legal authority to apply for financial assistance in the institutional, managerial, and the financial capabilities to ensure adequate project administration. Be it further resolved that the sources and amounts of the local match identified in the application are committed to the project identified. Moreover, Marsh County, Kentucky resolves to provide $625,000 in matching funds to WK&T in support of the WK&T grant application to provide broadband services. Be it further resolved that Marsh County, Kentucky has not violated any federal, state, or local laws pertaining to fraud, bribery, graft, kickbacks, collusion, conflict of interest, or other unlawful or corrupt practices. Be it further resolved that upon approval of WK&T's application by the Commonwealth, Marsh County, Kentucky may execute its agreement with WK&T for the above referenced projects, and the Marsh County, Kentucky certifies that it will comply with all applicable laws and regulation as stated in all contract agreements. Now therefore be it finally resolved that the undersigned is hereby authorized to execute such agreements as necessary to implement the project on behalf of the county. So we just need a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
So, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And just for folks, I know we talked about this last time, folks that may be watching the court meeting, we did put out the email, so it is out on our Facebook page. Go to the Facebook page, find the email, and submit letters of support to the email. That's going to be gathered and submitted to the grant applicant or the grant executive
Agency.
director. We've had several, I know I've received several letters, and we've sent letters of support. I've reached out, I think you reached out to some, we reached out to several. Heard back from quite a few. We haven't heard back from some, but I'm hoping that we got a good opportunity to get this grant.
Do we know how many emails we've received?
That's actually on the
Yeah,
email.
just wondered if we knew.
As of this morning, I think the number was 36 that we've received directly.
Oh,
It to the email.
to that email.
Yeah,
Okay.
to that email address.
Way more than that.
Yeah. All right, next is the CDBG grant resolutions. Just gonna read these. This is pertaining to the utility support resolution of the Marshall County Fiscal Court. In a meeting of the Marshall County Fiscal Court, the members approved the following resolutions. Whereas the Marshall County Fiscal Court has received funding for a community development block grant, and whereas it is necessary to implement procurement standards for community development block grant funds, therefore the Marshall County Fiscal Court has approved and adopted the attached procurement code. It's the same.
Move we
procurement
approve.
code.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution of the Morris County Fiscal Court, whereas Morris County Fiscal Court wishes to comply with the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended, whereas Morris County Fiscal Court wishes to comply with all requirements of the grant agreement for a community development block grant with the state of Kentucky. Now therefore be it resolved, the Morris County Fiscal Court adopts a residential anti-displacement and resolution or relocation plan pursuant to Section 104D Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. The plan is attached here too and incorporated by reference as set out in full. Motion to accept.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item E is going to be the Miracle League. When we last met, the motion that was made was not to exceed a certain amount. I think it was 74,000.
72 was the original amount in the motion.
72. And it actually exceeded $1,909.82. So,
Did everybody get the updated explanation from Justin that, okay, not
In
you,
as
Justin,
much
the
as
other
you
Justin.
can,
Say what?
Just say okay.
Okay.
Okay. That kind of broke that down differently. There was a certain percentage that was for the design of everything, and then there's a different percentage that's applied for what we actually move forward with in construction. So that is where this 74
165.
165 comes from, yes. So that motion just needs to be increased by 1,900 and some change to the 74 165.
yeah, and we had discussed where those funds came from. If it's the wishes of the court to have those funds, the additional 1909 come from the same funds, have that in the same motion.
Then I move we approve the CMS fees up to $74,165 and taken out of the same fund that we were going to use in the prior.
Second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And
I
then-
also wanted to let you all know, sorry, I kind of jumped ahead of you there.
Nope.
On the Miracle League, since WPSD came out and did a great story last week, since then, I have had several people reach out to me. So we've got a couple more things that are in the works that could be potentially some really great partnerships that may help us get a little bit closer to that goal on the finances. I'm going to be speaking a couple of different places. So again, I want to put that out there. Any clubs, any groups, charities, churches, anything like that, I'm available to come and show pictures and videos and talk about what exactly we're doing. So anybody that you all speak to that wants somebody to come and talk, I'm available to do that also. I also wanted to talk about the Boo Bash while I'm up here. It is coming up next weekend, so Saturday the 23rd. This is our kind of first big event that we're going to try to do completely ourselves here at the park. And we're really, really excited about it. The response has been great. Over 1,000 people have RSVP'd to the Facebook event already. So we're expecting a great turnout. And we're really kind of doing a different method for this event. And I'm really excited about it because it's all about partnerships. And so we are partnering with the high school dance team. They're going to come out and teach the Thriller, the Michael Jackson Thriller dance. There's going to be a Thriller dance-off. We're going to have a trophy for the winner. We're having a costume contest for all ages. It's going to be judged, and we'll have trophies. There is a community pumpkin carving contest. So you carve or decorate a pumpkin at home, drop it off at the visitor center. We're going to have them all on display, and those are being judged by an art teacher. We're actually going to have a prize for that. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have a candy dash. We're going to have touch-a-trucks where we have got, I know the SO is going to be there. The city of Benton is going to be there. Fire trucks, ambulances. They're going to be handing out candy as well. And then we're having a big candy dash. So it's set up like an Easter egg hunt. The candy will completely cover the field. We drop the rope, and it's a free-for-all to pick up all the candy. We have some great sponsors that have contributed, that have allowed us to already buy about $400 worth of candy. We do still need more candy, so if there's any businesses or individuals that want to donate candy, they can drop off big bags of candy at the visitor center, and we will have a list of everybody who donated candy on a poster or sign that will be up at the Boo Bash as well. We're also partnering with the high school baseball team to do a haunted trail for the first time. This is a pretty cool thing. It's kind of a scary baseball type themed haunted trail. They are working with us, and a portion of the proceeds from that, it's $10 a person to do the haunted trail, and that's going to come back to, a portion of that comes back to the Miracle League. So they're doing that as a fundraiser for the Miracle League, so that's kind of cool. But everything else is completely free to the public thanks to our sponsors and the Parks Department. Making sure I didn't miss anything here. I think that covered it all. We're going to have handheld burgers on wheels and Kona Ice all there too. So it's going to be a really cool event, a lot of fun things happening, but that's October the 23rd starting at 6 o'clock.
What type of surface will you have for the Thriller? I mean, because you can't just do the, good question.
I can bring in a special section if you're saying that you're going to be out there and ready for this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
will
just
have the
saying,
Monty
you
Collins.
can't do a moonwalk
Yeah.
on a,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're
you know what I
volunteering
mean?
to be on the front row of this.
Hey, the
Isn't that
moonwalk
what you're
is
hearing?
not a part of
I
Thriller.
think he's, yeah, absolutely.
it's my 30th
whoa,
high school
whoa, time
reunion. Sorry.
The moonwalk is not in Thriller. That was Billie Jean.
Oh, well, he does it
You're fired.
quite often.
Yeah.
He does not do it in Thriller.
Okay.
Just bring you penny loafers.
I want
and we're good to
video
go.
of this dance.
Absolutely.
One thing
got
to
the
add
videos
to it, Marcella's and Needline
Yes, that was another thing.
have
I'm glad you
actually,
mentioned that.
yes, they are
Marcella's
actually,
and Needline will be out there. They are doing a temporary tattoo station. They're partnering together. So if you want to bring a canned good, you can get a temporary tattoo for a canned good food donation that is jointly for Needline and Marcella's together. And we are so excited that they are working together
Is that
now.
the-
and-
yes.
Is that the
and doing
signs
stuff.
that are up, or is that something different? All the signs around town, is that
Yep.
something different?
That is something different.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Marcella, back in 2016, I sat down with several of the nonprofit organizations to try to get them to work together. And they're excited to work together. There's a lot of changes, but they're finally working together. They see the benefit of it. And the biggest message to the community is that to get out and support these organizations. So that's combining it with the events that we've got out at the park.
Yeah.
They're excited, so.
And I think this is a great timed thing, too, to have them out there doing canned good donations. I know we're getting ready to collect canned goods for them at the Christmas slots, but one thing to think about is they don't get those until after Thanksgiving, and that there's a lot of need in the community for food items at Thanksgiving. So this is our chance to kind of help stock them up before Thanksgiving hits. So it's just going to be a great event. A lot of fun activities, a lot of free activities, but then also the chance to support the Miracle League through the Haunted Trail and the chance to support Marcella's and Need Line with canned goods. So there's going to be stuff for all ages. Adults can totally be in the Thriller Dance-Off and the costume contest, just FYI. So we will have adult categories as well. So feel free to come dressed up. That's also an option too.
Come on, Monty.
Commissioner Collins will be
Come on.
performing.
This is your,
Yeah, I'll bring out the stage just for him.
You're
Like,
committed.
absolutely. Yep. Do y'all have any questions for me? Okay, thank you.
I
Thanks,
got one.
Brittany.
Yep.
I noticed that on that WPSD story, which that was a good story, did you notice like a spike in donations? Because I know they told us how, everybody to how to make a donation.
Yes. So I get the report like every 2 weeks on what has come in, and it hasn't come in yet. So I'm hoping to see a spike on the text to donate. Hopefully that will be the case. Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to new business, Sheriff's Training Incentive. Dear Sheriff McGuire, congratulations on the completion of your 40-hour training unit for calendar year 2021 pursuant to KRS 6452756. You are required to be paid an annual incentive per calendar year for each training unit completed up to a maximum of 4 incentive payments. The value of the incentive payment for 2021 is $1,093.24. Our records show that you have successfully completed 3 units and are due 3 incentive payments of $1,093.24 for a total of $3,279.72. Please make the disbursing officer aware that incentive payments are not exempt from state or federal withholding requirements. We just need to prove that.
Move we approve.
All those-
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Get that, Corey?
Did you get it?
Yeah, she's gonna
Pick a
have to
name and go
choose.
with it.
We'll see next time who she chooses.
This is the same training incentive for the county clerk. Dear Mr. York, congratulations on completion of your 40-hour training unit for calendar year 2021. Pursuant to KRS 6452756, you are required to be paid an annual incentive per calendar year for each training unit completed up to a maximum of 4 incentive payments. The value of the incentive payment for 2021 is $1,093.24. Our records show that you have successfully completed 4 units and are due 4 incentive payments of $1,093.24 for a total of $4,372.96. Please make the disbursing officer aware the incentive payments are not exempt from the state or federal withholding requirement. Need approval.
Move we approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is item C, proclamation. Is a proclamation for Women in Agricultural Day. Marshall County Fiscal Court proclamation proclaiming October 18th, 2021 as Kentucky Women in Agricultural Day. Whereas there is a growing influence of women who serve as leaders and primary decision makers on Kentucky farms, and whereas Kentucky has over 40,000 female farm operators that make up nearly 1/4 of all farm operations in the state, and whereas Kentucky Women in Agricultural, KWIA, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the professional development of its members, and whereas KWIA strives to prepare females of any age for leadership roles in agricultural and agribusiness at the county, state, and national levels. And whereas 237 Kentuckians are active members of the KWIA organization, and whereas Kentucky Women in Agricultural Incorporated is currently celebrating its 22nd annual conference in Lexington, Kentucky. Therefore, I, Kevin Neal, Marshall County Judge Executive, hereby declare that October 18th shall be recognized as Kentucky Women in Agricultural Day in Marshall County, given under my hand on this 12th day of October 21. I know Jenna, we started her out real young. I've got pictures of her with baby chicks when she was probably about 2 or 3 years old. Those pictures will come back to haunt her when she gets older, but living on a farm and having animals with kids is always interesting, but it's fun. So it's good to see that there's organizations out there like KWIA.
If it wouldn't have rained yesterday, I'm certain that my mother-in-law would be in a grain truck right now.
Is that
so.
right? All right, item D. Coroner's invoice. You should have received this. Total payments and adjustment, $3,790. Balance due is $1,600. And this is for a popple burial. Cemetery services, grave opening, lawn crypt, caskets, grave equipment, immediate burials. So we need to identify where the monies are coming from.
Have we already spent the $500, or would 500 of it go towards it, and then?
Of what we budgeted?
Yeah, I think we budgeted
Well, we've
$500.
had one already
pauper.
come through, which
Oh.
you all were able to recover some of the money for. I anticipate that this is not the only bill for this we will get. The last one, we had a bill for the funeral home and a bill from the cemetery for the land. So we only have one bill at this point that's just the funeral home. So I'm going to assume we're going to get another $1,500 bill for the plot. But yeah, no, it's all used up. I guess we need to keep that in mind for next year if we want to try to go up on that budget line, or, I mean, I'm not really sure. I know in the past when they've done cremations, we haven't gone over that.
Right.
So,
Neither one of these that you're talking about were eligible to be donated to the farm. Does anybody know?
We have no idea.
we received the invoices. I believe that the coroner's supposed to search for family or see whatever options he has.
Yeah, and normally, if you can't find family, the farm will take.
I don't know if other alternatives are being looked at.
And we're receiving these invoices after the fact. He's not putting in purchase orders for these, so,
Right.
you know, we can't say, oh, you know, that didn't happen, you know, that, this service has already happened. So,
Yeah.
are we gonna have more of these?
So the point is that the
It seems
discussion
strange to
needs
me
to
that
be had.
Yes, it seems strange to
prior.
me that we're having two, and they're costing us $3,000 a piece or more, when we've only budgeted to spend $5 for a whole year, because we budget to cremate.
So if we do this, can we put we already know there's no opportunity to get this money back, I guess, from the estate? Or
I
did we
did not
put
know
a
that we were
lien
gonna-
on the estate, or how do we?
I didn't know we were gonna get money back from the last one until you all found out that there was some estate or whatever.
The one that we got recouped on, there was real estate, so that was pretty easy to get that back, and some personal property. I don't even know who this is. We haven't been contacted as far as I know.
Here's my opinion. We have to have something in place. I know that there's a process that the county coroner is to exhaust all measures to identify family members, in some cases, assets. This is another statute where the county provides this. There's all types of agreements across the state when deaths of our citizens occur, and we can't find family members. And what is the county's responsibility to make sure that we respect the bodies in burial? We do have several options. I know from my staff and what we see is that we just get these. And there's a lot of questions as far as what's the process do we want to follow? you know, when we look at, I know it's 3,790, but the balance total is 1,600. You know, there are some folks out there that, you know, they struggle to pay when they take care of their family and their funeral services. So I think we should have something in place that kind of outlines how these decisions should be made. You know, because there's no monies in the line for one. I know we have issues with the POs. We've tried to mitigate that. But if the court wants, we can look at putting a draft together, bringing it back to the court, and the court reviewing that so that we have something in place when this occurs. And, you know, it shouldn't, in my opinion, it shouldn't be just a decision between the county coroner and a funeral home, and then we get stuck with a bill. So if that's something that the court wants to do, we can look at doing that, and we can run it.
Good idea.
Well, then we'll do that. We'll put something together. We'll run it through Jason's office, and then we'll try to sit down with the county coroner and find a solution. In the meantime, where do we want to pull $1,600?
So, question for you, Erica. I just yesterday went and looked at the budget related to the health insurance thing, just to make sure what we had budgeted and everything. And I do know that we budgeted more in that line item than the 34. Is there other monies within that
I believe you're right. In our
we do
admin fees-
42.5, I think, and we only pay 34.
Yeah. So we could pull it from there.
Is that a viable? I mean, it's extra money that we're not going to spend.
Do you want me to do just the 1,600 for now, or do you want me to go ahead and do a little bit more for when the burial, the plot comes in, or you want to wait to deal with the plot when it
I'm
comes in?
afraid to put more than that in the budget, quite honestly.
Wait until we get a bill? Okay.
That way we know what the actual cost is.
So, do you need a motion on that, or you just
I'll
add that to
I'll include it in
the
our transfers.
appropriation
I'll
transfer?
include it in our
Okay.
transfer. But I don't know that ended up on our bills, so just know that when you go to discuss bills, that one's included now. 'Cause
Okay.
Y'all discussed it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Courthouse surplus. We have 2 chairs, and we have no use for them, and so we need to surplus them. One of the methods that we use is gov deals.
2 chairs, and they're 800 apiece, right?
Yeah, 800, that's the reserve. That equals.
Yeah.
I move we surplus those courthouse items and put them on gov deals.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Transfers?
Okay, so for the appropriation transfers, we'll have the 1,600 that we just discussed out of the insurance and into the pauper burials fund. And then the other is from general fund investments to capital projects, and that is for, I believe it was 3 permits and 2 bills that were all for Draftonville West Sewer expansion. And then, of course, the transient taxes on there, that's $35,343.95. And I flipped through those checks, those were mostly September, so that seems like it may be a couple of days of August and then mostly September, so that's pretty good. So that's the appropriation transfers. And then the bank transfers, the first 5 are all budgeted transfers of occupational tax. It's been in our budget. The last is from the ARPA grant fund to the general fund for $5,009.02. When we set up the ARPA fund as a new grant fund and the state changed the depositing information. They changed it for everything that goes into the grant fund, not just the ARPA money. So everything that's normally goes in our grant fund has been going into the ARPA fund. So that's me moving it back out so that nothing's in the ARPA fund except for ARPA money. We don't want to confuse any money. We want the ARPA always by itself.
I move we approve the appropriation transfer.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bills and claims. Is there any reason to deny payment of the bills, claims? Let the clerk record that the bills and claims are to be paid. If there's no other discussion, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.